Top 25 Maintenance Technician Interview Questions and Answers. Preparing for a maintenance technician interview means getting ready for questions that test your technical knowledge, safety awareness, troubleshooting skills, and ability to work under pressure. Employers want someone who can inspect equipment, repair mechanical or electrical issues, follow preventative maintenance schedules, and respond quickly when machines or systems break down. They also look for candidates who can communicate clearly, document repairs, and work safely with tools, machinery, and building systems. In this guide, you will find 25 maintenance technician interview questions with strong sample answers to help you sound confident, practical, and job-ready. 1. What experience do you have as a maintenance technician? I have experience performing preventative maintenance, troubleshooting equipment problems, repairing mechanical and electrical systems, and responding to urgent maintenance requests. In my previous work, I inspected machines, replaced worn parts, checked motors, belts, bearings, pumps, and basic electrical components, and made sure equipment was operating safely. I also followed maintenance schedules, completed work orders, and documented repairs properly. My goal has always been to reduce downtime, prevent repeat issues, and keep the facility running smoothly while following safety rules and company procedures. 2. How do you troubleshoot a machine that suddenly stops working? When a machine suddenly stops working, I first make sure the area is safe and follow lockout/tagout procedures if needed. Then I check the basic causes, such as power supply, emergency stop buttons, breakers, fuses, loose connections, warning lights, or error codes. After that, I inspect mechanical parts like belts, sensors, motors, and moving components. I try to identify the root cause instead of guessing. Once the issue is repaired, I test the machine, monitor it briefly, and document what was done. 3. What does preventative maintenance mean to you? Preventative maintenance means inspecting, cleaning, adjusting, lubricating, and repairing equipment before a serious breakdown happens. To me, it is one of the most important parts of a maintenance technician's job because it reduces downtime, improves safety, and extends the life of equipment. Preventative maintenance includes checking belts, bearings, filters, motors, electrical panels, fluid levels, and moving parts. I believe good preventative maintenance is not just completing a checklist, but noticing small warning signs early and fixing them before they become expensive problems. 4. How do you prioritize maintenance requests? I prioritize maintenance requests based on safety, production impact, urgency, and the risk of equipment damage. If a problem creates a safety hazard, such as exposed wiring, leaking fluids, or a dangerous machine condition, I handle that first. Next, I focus on issues that stop production or affect important operations. Less urgent repairs, such as minor adjustments or cosmetic issues, can be scheduled later. I also communicate with supervisors and affected departments so everyone understands what is being handled first and why. 5. What safety procedures do you follow when repairing equipment? Safety is always my first priority. Before repairing equipment, I identify possible hazards and follow lockout/tagout procedures when working on energized or moving machinery. I wear the correct personal protective equipment, such as gloves, safety glasses, steel-toe shoes, or hearing protection. I also keep the work area clean, use the right tools, and avoid shortcuts. If I am unsure about a procedure, I check the manual or ask a supervisor. A repair is only successful if it is done safely and correctly. 6. How comfortable are you with electrical troubleshooting? I am comfortable with basic electrical troubleshooting, including checking breakers, fuses, switches, sensors, motors, wiring connections, and control panels. I can use a multimeter to test voltage, continuity, and resistance, and I understand the importance of working safely around electrical systems. I always follow company procedures and lockout/tagout rules before working on equipment. If a problem is beyond my authorization or requires a licensed electrician, I report it properly instead of taking unnecessary risks. Safety and accuracy are most important with electrical work. 7. How do you handle a repair when you do not know the exact cause? If I do not know the exact cause, I stay calm and use a step-by-step troubleshooting process. I start by gathering information from the operator, checking error codes, reviewing equipment history, and inspecting the most common failure points. I use manuals, diagrams, and testing tools to narrow down the issue. I do not replace parts randomly because that wastes time and money. If needed, I ask another technician or supervisor for input. My goal is to find the real cause and fix it properly. 8. What tools do you commonly use as a maintenance technician? I commonly use hand tools such as wrenches, screwdrivers, pliers, socket sets, Allen keys, hammers, and measuring tools. I also use power tools, drills, grinders, grease guns, multimeters, voltage testers, levels, and sometimes diagnostic equipment depending on the job. For mechanical work, I may use pullers, torque wrenches, and alignment tools. I believe using the correct tool is important for safety, quality, and efficiency. I also make sure tools are kept clean, organized, and in good working condition. 9. How do you deal with pressure during an emergency breakdown? During an emergency breakdown, I focus on staying calm and working safely. I first confirm the problem, secure the area, and communicate with the operator or supervisor. Then I troubleshoot in a logical order instead of rushing and making mistakes. I understand that downtime can be costly, but safety and correct repairs are still important. I try to restore equipment as quickly as possible while making sure the repair will hold. Afterward, I document the issue and recommend steps to prevent it from happening again. 10. How do you document maintenance work? I document maintenance work clearly and accurately. I record the equipment name or number, the problem reported, the steps I took, parts replaced, tests performed, and whether the equipment was returned to service. If I notice a possible future issue, I also include that in the notes. Good documentation helps other technicians understand the equipment history, prevents repeated troubleshooting, and supports preventive maintenance planning. I believe maintenance records should be simple, complete, and honest because they help the whole team work more effectively. 11. What would you do if a machine keeps having the same problem? If a machine keeps having the same problem, I would look for the root cause instead of only fixing the symptom. I would review previous work orders, ask operators when the issue happens, inspect related components, and check whether the same part is failing repeatedly. Sometimes the real cause could be poor alignment, vibration, incorrect settings, lack of lubrication, operator misuse, or an electrical fault. After finding the cause, I would recommend a permanent solution and document the repair to prevent future repeat failures. 12. How do you perform preventive maintenance on equipment? I perform preventive maintenance by following the manufacturer's recommendations, company checklist, and equipment history. I inspect the machine for wear, leaks, loose parts, unusual noise, vibration, overheating, or damaged components. I clean the equipment, lubricate moving parts, check belts and bearings, tighten connections, replace filters, and test safety devices. I also look beyond the checklist because small changes can be early warning signs. After completing the work, I document what was checked, what was fixed, and any parts that may need attention later. 13. How do you communicate with machine operators? I communicate with machine operators respectfully and clearly because they often notice problems before anyone else. I ask them what happened, when the issue started, whether there were unusual sounds, smells, vibrations, or error messages, and if anything changed before the failure. I listen carefully because their information can save troubleshooting time. After the repair, I explain what was fixed in simple terms and let them know if they should watch for any signs. Good communication helps prevent repeat issues and builds trust. 14. What would you do if you found a serious safety hazard? If I found a serious safety hazard, I would act immediately. First, I would secure the area and stop the equipment if necessary to prevent injury. Then I would report the hazard to my supervisor or safety team according to company procedure. If I'm qualified to correct the issue safely, I would do so. If not, I would make sure the area remains protected until the right person handles it. I would never ignore a safety hazard, even if production is under pressure. 15. How do you make sure repairs are completed correctly? I make sure repairs are completed correctly by following a proper process from inspection to testing. After identifying the issue, I use the correct parts, tools, and procedures. Once the repair is done, I test the equipment under safe conditions and confirm that it operates normally. I also check for leaks, unusual noise, vibration, overheating, or warning lights. If possible, I ask the operator to confirm the machine is working as expected. Finally, I document the repair and any follow-up needed. 16. What is your experience with mechanical systems? I have experience working with mechanical systems. such as motors, belts, pulleys, bearings, pumps, valves, conveyors, gears, chains, and basic hydraulic or pneumatic components. I can inspect parts for wear, replace damaged components, adjust tension, lubricate moving parts, and troubleshoot common mechanical problems. I understand that mechanical issues often show signs like noise, vibration, heat, leaks, or reduced performance. I try to catch these signs early because small mechanical problems can quickly turn into major breakdowns if they are ignored. 17. What is your experience with HVAC, plumbing, or building maintenance? I have experience with general building maintenance tasks such as checking HVAC filters, inspecting basic plumbing issues, repairing leaks, replacing fixtures, checking doors, lights, and facility equipment. I understand that building maintenance is important because it keeps the workplace safe, comfortable, and functional. I can handle basic repairs and inspections, and I know when to escalate specialized work to licensed professionals. My approach is to respond quickly, fix problems properly, and make sure the facility stays clean, safe, and reliable for employees and visitors. 18. How do you handle working with limited time or limited parts? When time or parts are limited, I focus on safety, clear communication, and practical problem solving. I first determine whether the equipment can be repaired safely with available parts, or whether a temporary repair is allowed by company policy. I never create an unsafe shortcut just to get equipment running. If a part is missing, I report it, check inventory, and suggest alternatives if approved. I also communicate realistic timelines to supervisors so they can plan production or operations around the repair. 19. How do you keep your technical skills updated? I keep my technical skills updated by learning from experienced technicians, reading equipment manuals, reviewing troubleshooting guides, and staying open to new methods and tools. I also pay attention during training sessions and ask questions when I see unfamiliar equipment. Every repair teaches something, especially when the root cause is not obvious. I believe a good maintenance technician should always keep learning because machines, controls, and safety standards change over time. Staying updated helps me work faster, safer, and more accurately. 20. How would you handle a disagreement with another technician about a repair? If I disagreed with another technician about a repair, I would stay professional and focus on the facts. I would explain my reasoning calmly and listen to their point of view. Then we could check the equipment manual, wiring diagram, maintenance history, or test results to decide the best solution. If we still disagreed, I would involve a supervisor instead of arguing or delaying the repair. The goal is not to prove who is right, but to fix the equipment safely and correctly. 21. What would you do if an operator says the machine is fixed but you still notice a problem? If I still notice a problem, I would not ignore it just because the machine is running. I would explain the concern to the operator and supervisor, then inspect the issue further. A machine can appear fixed but still have vibration, overheating, loose parts, leaks, or abnormal readings that may cause another breakdown later. I would either correct the problem immediately or document it for follow-up if it is not urgent. My responsibility is to make sure the equipment is safe and reliable. 22. How do you manage your time during a busy shift? During a busy shift, I manage my time by reviewing work orders, identifying urgent tasks, and staying organized. I handle safety issues and production stopping problems first, then move to preventative maintenance and lower priority repairs. I keep communication open with supervisors so they know what I am working on and what may be delayed. I also prepare tools and parts before starting a job to avoid wasting time. Staying organized helps me complete more work without rushing or making careless mistakes. 23. What would you do if you made a mistake during a repair? If I made a mistake during a repair, I would take responsibility immediately and report it to my supervisor. I would not hide it because hidden mistakes can create safety risks or bigger equipment problems later. I would explain what happened, help correct the issue, and learn from it so it does not happen again. Everyone can make mistakes, but a professional technician handles them honestly. I believe accountability, safety, and improvement are more important than pretending everything went perfectly. 24. Why should we hire you as a maintenance technician? You should hire me because I bring a practical maintenance mindset, strong safety awareness, and a reliable approach to troubleshooting. I understand that maintenance is not just about fixing things after they break. It is about preventing problems, reducing downtime, and keeping equipment safe and efficient. I am comfortable using tools, following procedures, documenting work, and communicating with operators and supervisors. I also stay calm under pressure and focus on finding the real cause of problems instead of quick temporary fixes. 25. What are your long-term goals as a maintenance technician? My long-term goal is to continue growing as a skilled maintenance technician and become someone the team can rely on for both routine maintenance and difficult troubleshooting. I want to improve my knowledge of electrical systems, mechanical systems, controls, preventative maintenance, and equipment diagnostics. I also want to develop strong leadership and training skills over time. My goal is to help the company reduce downtime, improve safety, and maintain equipment properly while continuing to build a stable and professional maintenance career. A maintenance technician interview is your chance to show that you are not only good with tools, but also responsible, safety-focused, and able to solve problems in a professional way. Strong candidates know how to troubleshoot equipment, follow preventive maintenance schedules, document repairs, and communicate clearly with operators and supervisors. Before your interview, review the job description, prepare examples from your past experience, and practice answering questions with confidence. If you can show that you understand safety, downtime, teamwork, and root cause repair, you will make a much stronger impression on the employer.